Okay, I love the bass line in these classic SMT games and Touhou parody. The sound font is just so iconic, so amazing. Anyways, I think it stopped raining now, so we can progress with the game. What's up, everybody? I'm Spirit Rosewolf, and welcome back to another part of Touhou Artificial Dreams in Arcadia. So yeah, last time we had to cut it off early just due to the fact that it was raining. I think this will be the same day that we were playing. Thankfully, all I needed to do in order to quickly save my game was just head to the left over here, and look at that, we found an anomaly. So now I can save my... I saved my game previously before I started recording again. And, yeah, that's good. We won't be losing any of the progress that I had done in the last part. So what do you guys have to say about being in the Forest of Magic?
I'm so tired of treating poison wounds. Lantidos too.
I don't know why I keep giving them random voices every time I run into them, mostly because I stop playing this game every couple of months or so. Alright, well, looks like we're gonna have to go back to the poison again. Oh boy, well at least we have one battle where we're using our entire full party roster. In fact, Marissa doesn't really need to do it. I like how I was in the middle of a cough as soon as I was saying Marissa's name. So it's like I was saying Marissa. It's Marissa. Wow. Okay, she dodged most of that. Yeah. Bad news for you, Marissa. Our entire party is made to resist / nullify / heal against electricity. So your little stunt there can't really do much to us. Okay, so what I want to do now is I actually want to defend. I want to use this battle to constantly defend spam, just so I could build up my SP to max and use it for the rest of this dungeon. Having a full bar of SP is really handy in the event that you want to just mass hijack anything that you come across. Pretty dang useful in my opinion. Alright, so after this, let's actually hijack Alice real quick. Getting more of those full healing items is important, and I'm going to use my controller this time. Oh boy, I'm using my controller. Oh gosh, the control stick! The control stick! I don't like using the control stick for Touhou games. I tried using a control stick a couple of years ago when I was trying to play Great Fairy Wars, and let me tell you, impossible. Almost impossible. I don't know how some people do it. The D-pad is like, okay, that's fair, but the control stick, I don't know. And I know some people do play Touhou with a control stick, but it's just like, that's out of my league. I am so used to using the keyboard that I just can't think of using anything else. Kudos to anyone who can do it, though. Anyone who can perform better at Touhou using a control stick than a keyboard. You know, you got my book for being like one of the best players in Touhou, in my opinion. Like you are awesome. You are legit. Anyways, we're gonna have Alice out instead of just, you know, just Marissa. I think it would be better for our survivability sake, or survivability rate. It's my sake that we survive. That's all there is to it. I'd rather not die and lose experience. I had that happen a lot at the beginning of the game when I was still trying to understand the core mechanics, and very annoying. Very, very, very annoying. Now, I don't remember what Luna Child can do, nor do I remember what she gives us. So, of course, we're going to fight her at max health. Oh, right, she was the really easy battle. Her hijacking is probably the easiest out of all the Fairies of Light. Star Sapphire, I always wanted to call her Sapphire Star. I think that would be a better name for her. But Star Sapphire legit sucks. It is like the worst. Ooh, 3 life chunks. That is not bad at all. Can't hijack Ellen just yet, and maybe we won't. Or I guess we will. You know what? No. Let's just mass defend again. There's only one of her after all. What could she do that could be so bad? Okay, if she hits Sumireko with that, that's gonna be bad. She's not doing it though. Well, I think now is the best time. Oh yeah, Ellen had this weird, like, streaming walls. Walls of giant circular bullets that you just have to constantly stream. It's not bad right now because she's at low health, but trust me, if she's at max health and, you know, it's at the hardest version, it is kind of difficult to dodge. I'm not going to say it's impossible. It's definitely possible for anyone to do. It's just really, really difficult. Yeah, thanks to having extra party members who can just heal my entire party like this, I never really have to worry about using my items, at least until later. Eventually I'll have to start using my items, but for now I am pretty much okay. Yeah, we have like small little pockets of non-poisoned areas, it seems. That's cool and all, but I'd rather the entire forest not be poisoned. At least Sumireko is resistant to it. Oh, and check it out, the 3 fairies of light in one battle. Do I go for Star Sapphire? I'm not gonna go for max health. let's get rid of Luna Child first and foremost. She's the easiest one, even at max health. I believe the giant stars are aimed. Although I can't really determine if they are or not. That one was certainly aimed. So was that one. Yeah, it looks like they are, but it's hard to tell. Doesn't really matter at the end of the day. It's still really easy to dodge those giant stars. The only thing that's really difficult is to dodge the smaller ones. You know what? Screw it. Let's fight Star Sapphire at max health, if we can. If this doesn't kill Sunny Milk immediately. Okay, it didn't kill Sunny Milk, but that killed Sunny Milk. I'm gonna regret this. It's just like Great Fairy Wars. Yeah, so it also kind of works similar to Junko's spell from Touhou 15. I almost got hit there. Where those circles that hit the bottom of the screen, well, technically the left side of the screen, but it's supposed to be the bottom in normal Touhou games. Once that hits the bottom of the screen, it reflects. Interesting how Star Sapphire has a spell card slash attack that reflects off of the sides of the screen, when that should be Luna Child's thing, considering she has the ability of wait, no, Luna Child doesn't have the ability to reflect things. I think Sunny Milk has the ability to de-refract things. I don't remember. Sunny Milk has something involving vision. Luna Child has the radar. No, Star Sapphire has the radar. Luna Child has something to do with sound. Right, it's sound. She can remove sounds from objects. Well, that still begs the question: why does Star Sapphire have an ability that reflects? Whatever. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. I don't remember how bad Enoko was. Oh, not enough SP. Right. Screw it, just kill him. Just shoot him, Fox. Oh no, they punched our liver. Not our liver. Yeah, we have a lot of life gems that we can just spam. Let's start doing that. And we could heal our entire party with a moderate healing spell, but I also don't want to. I think that's kind of a waste. Although in hindsight, I probably should have also set Alice to heal Sumireko. Ouch. Okay, now we have enough to hijack someone. I'm not going to hijack Star Sapphire again, although she is weak. Let's see what Enoko can do. Right, Enoko was this one. We literally just fought her a while ago. Misdirection. So yeah, I've been playing Touhou 10 recently, and I've actually gotten significantly better at that game than I usually am. Usually when I do play Touhou 10, it's really difficult, despite the fact that everyone says it's the easiest game in the entire franchise. That's mostly because you can spam resources all over the place to try to get a 1cc in that game. But spell cards, you gotta know how to beat them, and they are significantly more difficult than something like Touhou 7. Touhou 7, I actually got really used to the mechanics in that game and the spell cards. They're not as bad as I initially thought they were. Touhou 7 has actually become a really fun game to play through, even on my off time. But yeah, Mountain of Faith, it really is just like what people say. As long as you spam the resources in that game, Mountain of Faith can be pretty easy to get through. It's very forgiving. I would honestly say it's tied with Touhou 8 for being the most beginner-friendly game in the franchise. And maybe Touhou 15, but Touhou 15 is a special case. It's beginner-friendly for the wrong reasons. And it's reasons that you would understand if you played the game. One of these days I'll do it for the channel, but like, ooh, if you like I Want to Be the Guy, then that's the game for you. My biggest problem with Touhou 10, however, is just Kaneko. Kaneko is literally the biggest issue that I have. I probably shouldn't use the poor accuracy one. I should have used Critical Slash now that I think about it. Critical Slash it is! Okay, Enoko is surprisingly weak to this. But then again, I shouldn't be surprised. I mean, Marissa would probably be strong against her doggo. Just one simple kick is all she needs to get rid of her dog. I'm sorry. As a dog father, I am severely disappointed in what I just said. Oh, this is all aim shit as well. But yeah, my biggest gripe about modern Touhou, or just later Touhou, specifically post Touhou 8, post Imperishable Nights, is just the fact that Zune had this mentality when making the later games. He had this mentality where he expects you to have played the previous games and get a feel for the Touhou mechanics, and be able to actually... Okay, let me just finish my thought for a second, before we talk about this new music. I lost my train of thought. This music is good. So, this was another thing that was added in the patch. 1.3 update. They added a new level up theme for the game. I like this level up theme. I don't remember if the game had a level up theme for when Sumireko leveled up. Actually, no. I believe it was completely mute. So yeah, adding an actual level up theme is pretty cool. I haven't actually looked up the soundtrack of this game on my off time, mostly because I don't want to spoil some things later on if there is a track that spoils something. But definitely gonna have to look up the battle theme later, because I'm kind of like really into it. That and the boss theme. The boss theme is also a pretty big banger of mine. But to finish my thought, later on, once Touhou 10 came out, Zune kind of expected his audience to be able to hold their own when it comes to Touhou games. Like, you had to be good at it. You had to at least be decent at shmups. If you didn't, then you gotta learn, and you gotta play the game over and over constantly. And that was the same with earlier Touhou games. But the biggest difference that makes Touhou 10 and later much more difficult than the previous ones is the fact that... Oh, Alice, I just realized that Alice is at low HP. What makes a big difference is the fact that in previous games, you can set the life count that you immediately start with to 5 lives. Either 4 or 5 lives. That was the limit. But now, in Touhou 10, you're stuck with 2 lives, and that's going to be the same for pretty much every game after that. You can't change your life count, you are stuck at 2 lives. Now granted, some people can see that as, oh, Zune is evolving his mechanics. You know, he's starting to understand how to create a shmup game and how to balance it well. So, he no longer expects you to try and, you know, play the game at an easier difficulty by significantly increasing the life count. You don't need to do that anymore. No. So you actually have to, but that leaves like a bit of an issue where you actually have to be good at the game in order to make progress, because let me tell you, getting lives in Mountain of Faith is not easy. It is score based, just like Touhou 7. Actually, was Touhou 7 score based or was it point based? I don't remember. But the point is, point. It's all score based, and getting lives in that game is a lot more difficult than it is in previous games, just because of the whole faith mechanic that was added in that game. But to be honest, though, it did lead me to, realize that, alright, I had to be good at this game. I had to learn to get good at Touhou 10 if I want to make actual progress, if I want to beat the game, if I want to 1cc it. So I had to play it over and over and over again for the past couple of months until I was finally able to get to the final stage with a full 1cc chance. I can't necessarily 1cc it just yet, but I have a chance to 1cc it if I practice a little bit more, which I am trying to do. Okay, that was unfortunate, but thankfully Star Sapphire's HP is not that high. Man, why can't Bullet Golem be that easy to take out, or at least that quick to take out? I also just realized, considering Sumireko is at level 31, we can now make level 31 sleepers, but I don't know if there are any level 31 sleepers that I want to make. We need to heal again. So much healing. Let's also get rid of that poison. The problem with this poison is it keeps coming back. Now, I could just constantly spam that with Narume whenever we get poisoned, but there's always the chance of getting poisoned, considering we're just stepping in the poison permanently in this place. There's so much poison. Oh, we can go in there, apparently. Alright, let's go in there. Ooh, okay, this is actually a good place to go. And I'm actually glad that I took that poison off. Tojiko, get out here. The fun has just started. There's the fun right there. Oh, it's Marissa and her two girlfriends. Literally, yeah, these two characters are associated with Marissa. And, gosh, the shipping culture in Touhou is absolutely massive. That's one thing that I kind of never really got into until recently. The Touhou shipping culture. Now, I've always been a dirty shipper. I've been a dirty, stinky shipper when it comes to fandoms. And I've always shipped characters together. But Touhou was one of those series where... Okay, I had ships, but I didn't ship everything. Usually in other fandoms, I do ship a lot of people together. Unless it's characters that I really, really like, and if I want them to be platonic with another character, then, you know, I had canoned them as platonic, or maybe even, like, asexual. It's pretty rare if I do that, but it is something that I do. But Touhou is one of those where, until recently, I never really shipped anyone except for... Fujiwara and Kane, mostly because that just made the most amount of sense, even though they don't really have much going on in the actual canon material. The only thing we really know about them is that they know each other, and that's pretty much it. They're friends, and that's it. And you know what? That's all that really matters at the end of the day. It's sad that that's true. But recently, I have gotten into... a fairy from the Scarlet Devil Mansion, apparently.
Lady Romelia sent me here to gather ingredients for the kitchen. Forest of Magic has some edible mushrooms, too.
Mushroom. And then to the side, we see a bunch of badger moles in... badger moles? No, that's an Avatar thing. just regular badgers, yeah. We see badgers in maid uniforms. Apparently, the Scarlet Devil Mansion is hiring badgers as well. On top of chupacabras. Man, they have a big worth ethic, apparently. They do not shame.
Well, this one is edible, I hope.
But yeah, recently I have gotten into the shipping craze when it comes to Touhou. Not as crazy as other fandoms. I personally love the Alice and Marissa ship, mostly because, you know, I play Touhou A. They're actually really cute together. They have a funny ending, and I'm like, you know what? I see the appeal. I see why Marissa stole the precious thing. It really was that precious. And, what else? What else? Yukari and Ran is a little weird. I know a lot of people who do ship that, and it's just, it kind of just feels like a whole master-servant type thing, which it's not really my forte when it comes to serious stories. Like, okay, if I'm watching Black Butler, then maybe, because that's kind of the point of that show, but at the same time, eh. Now, Yukari Madara, however, I eat that shit up. It reminds me of this thing that I really wanted to do when I, Master of Puppets. Oh, right, that thing. When I was, starting my channel, like the first couple of years, I considered doing like special projects here and there. And one project that I was thinking of doing is every game that I complete for a live stream, I do an extra part at the end where I ship characters in the context of the game that I play. I make crack ships, I make headcanon ships, I talk about the canon ships. And just, it's gonna be like a whole podcast part, or just me talking about ships of the game. Now, that required me actually putting in work, so I never really did that, but maybe later on. Maybe I can do that as like a special thing for the Touhou Marathon at some point. Or, oh, you know what? Final Fantasy Tactics is a game that I completed recently, and that would be fun to do. Problem with Final Fantasy Tactics, though, is that I like that game. I didn't take the piss out of that game, and okay, there are actually some ships that I would genuinely like to talk about, but there's also a lot that just it's kind of weird. But screw it, I'll save that for when I eventually play the PSP version. But for Touhou, there's a lot of ships in Touhou that I could talk about. Like, I could make a whole series about just talking about each legitimate ship or illegitimate crack ships in this franchise. Like, we could talk about Reimu and Marissa and how cute that is, about the possibility of two friends coming together to love each other in a very, like, friendly yet frenemy-ish kind of way. We could also talk about the possibility of like enemies to lover ships with stuff like Kaguya and Fujiwara. There's the weird like suggestive ships like Seiga and Yoshika, and the straight up canon ones like Maribel and Renko, or Hisami and Zanmu. I had to take a minute to remember their names. And I legitimately like those characters, so I would love to talk about those. maybe at some point. Again, sounds like a fun project I could do. This forest is fun, and I'm glad to be in the Forest of Magic, but man, I really wish I had some sort of poison protection. Is there any sleeper in this game that can innately negate poison? That would be really good. I guess the only one that would, in canon, in my mind, be able to negate poison would be Yamame, but she's like an early game one. Yeah, there's no resistant to poison to the left over there. There's no like poison affinity, so I don't think any sleeper would be able to negate poison. Kind of weird though, because yeah, if I were to bring Yamame to this place and she gets poison, that's a little awkward. Wouldn't really make sense in my opinion. What is this? Wait, there's a second portion of the forest? Oh. Please tell me this isn't a second portion of the forest, and please tell me I don't actually have to go through it. Please. Please. I really don't want to. No, we have Enoko and Narumi that can heal those two. That can heal status effects off of everybody. Yeah, we're pretty much set with our party. Spring Path. Okay, this definitely isn't the Forest of Magic. I did not expect to come across another dungeon but if this is in fact another dungeon that's not a part of the Forest of Magic, let me just map out this little section right here. Yeah, let's head back to the Forest of Magic. I want to map out that entire area. Also, I gotta admit, I legitimately have no idea what we're doing at this point in terms of the story. I've kind of just been, like, sidetracked with exploring the entire forest, and I believe we were in the middle of a side quest. We were trying to help the 3 Fairies of Light try to find something. I don't remember what it was, but we're trying to help them find something. We're trying to help them find their importance in life. Why in the heck their manga ended up getting canceled? I don't think it got canceled specifically. I think it just ended. I never did get to read Sangetsusei or the 3 Fairies comics, specifically the earlier ones. Actually, no, that's a lie. I did read the earlier ones, like the first few issues of the Fairies of Light comics, and they were cool. Very slice of life, and not really that much substance. Okay, this is the hard version of Ellen's pattern, and kind of wallsy. This is reminding me of the Mountain of Faith card, specifically the card that's named after the game. Kaneko's Mountain of Faith card, where you have to get as close to her as possible in order to dodge the giant walls. And let me tell you, that card is bullshit. That entire game just has a lot of bullshit cards, in my opinion. But yeah. What was I saying? Right, I read some of the earlier issues of the 3 Fairies of Light comics or mangas. They were basically like one-off stories where it had the 3 Fairies of Light just doing random shit. You know, maybe they were pulling a prank, maybe they were spending time in their little house in the Forest of Magic. I believe they have a tree house in the Forest of Magic. It's either in the Forest of Magic or somewhere close to it. Or maybe next to the shrine, I don't actually remember. Or maybe they moved to the shrine. There's a lot of stuff that happens in Touhou. The fact that the canon of Touhou and the lore constantly changes with each installment because more stuff gets added to the lore makes it a little difficult to keep track of everything, but it also makes it really fun to keep track of everything. You know, you gotta pay attention to all the stuff that's happening. Stuff may eventually and ultimately change, and it may have future ramifications for the context of the entire franchise. Take the inclusion of yokai sages and all that. Or the introduction of the urban legends incident. Or just the Lunarians in general. They always muck shit up for the canon. They always gotta be messing shit up. Yeah, one of these days I'll end up reading some of the mangas. One of these days! Ooh, okay, I question if this is gonna lead to poison or not. Only one way to find out. Surprisingly, no.
I saw other fairies
Flaries. Flaries! It's the Flaries. It's the Flary Fairies.
playing hide and seek here. I can imagine it's hard to play when there are clones everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, it's very easy to tell when they are clones because of the fact that the sleepers don't speak. Which means Sumireko for this entire time has just been talking to herself. I mean, that's going with the headcanon that I am Sumireko, and every single discussion that I am having is just me recording my podcast. Yeah, I have this weird little headcanon in this game where while Sumireko is going on her venture all throughout Gensokyo, she just has like a little iPod in her pocket or her phone. And, well, I mean, she's using it to summon sleepers, but maybe she has like a second phone. And she's using it to record herself just, you know, on this adventure. And then she's gonna post all this as like a podcast or something on her YouTube channel or something. I don't know. Just like stupid shit that I think about every now and then when I'm playing games. I can see Sumireko doing that, though. Sumireko making a podcast, that's totally something she would do. Okay, I'm glad that electricity spell hit Misty instead of, I want to call her Luna Child, but no, she's Star Sapphire. And don't you forget it! Speaking of other things that I got to experience, Mystia's Izakaya just got a huge update, and I believe it was also released on something. I think a new version of it was released on Steam. Oh, I got Mystia. Okay, apparently I didn't have Mystia. Huh. Completely forgot that I didn't have her. I own the game, but I unfortunately do not own all the DLC for it. I think I own the base game and that's it. I'll plan on playing it sometime soon. One of these days. Ooh, okay, there's a random room all the way up there. Man, dungeons in this game go really hard with how labyrinthine they are. Especially if you're the type of person like me who wants to map out the entire dungeon. Like, I mapped out every single dungeon in Persona 2 except for the final dungeon. Like, you give me an ability to map out everything in a dungeon and give me rewards after the fact, then I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna map out everything, which kind of disappointed me because there's a map item in this game, so I can effectively just use that whenever I want. Okay, apparently the Forest of Magic just leads to multiple places. Is that? Okay, I have no idea what this place is. This doesn't look like the Garden of the Sun, considering it doesn't have sunflowers. I'm going to guess that it's the Nameless Hill, or the Hill of the Valley? Muinzuka! Okay, that makes more sense. Ooh. That fucking bassline, I tell ya. That bassline is awesome. Oh my gosh, and it has like that lo-fi drum beat. What the fuck is this music? This is so good! Like, if I had my VTuber model right now in the corner, I would just be like head bopping this entire time. I'd be vibing. So this is the location in Touhou 9 where you go to fight Shiki-Iki. Or Iki-Shiki, I'm sorry. I'm so used to referring to her by that order of name, which it's not canon. It's supposed to be Iki-Shiki. That's supposed to be her first name. Or I think Iki is her last name? I don't actually remember. But I know that Yamagzanadu is just her title, not her actual name. But this is where you go to at the end of Touhou 9. This is the edge of Gensokyo where lost souls end up to die. And this is usually where most of the dangerous yokai skulk at in order to stalk their prey. Because humans do end up in Gensokyo every now and then. They get spirited away. And the humans that are either massive criminals, horrible people, or suicidal, and I think elderly as well, they usually end up in this area. And it's your survival rate is extremely low if you end up in Muinzuka. There's also, I believe, a cemetery somewhere around here. Well, concerning this is Muinzuka, I don't think we're supposed to be here just yet. But it's interesting to see that we can get to other locations really, really fast. Or just through the Forest of Magic. So, this looks unfamiliar to me. We went down a bunch of stairs, and we've already been to the Myorin Temple. And I believe we also got to, Senkai, the world where Toyosa Tomimi no Miko is at, the Taoist. So I legit have no idea what this place is. Mayohiga! Oh, this is the village of the cats. This is where Chen is at. In Touhou 7, I believe, stage 2, we ransacked Mayohiga, and that's where we met Chen. This is just a random location where cats live, and it's never brought back ever again. I have no idea what this place is really supposed to be. I think there's just like a mythological purpose to Mayohiga. I think it legitimately is supposed to be a village full of cats. And I think if you take stuff from Mayohiga, you get like big luck or something. You get lucky. At least that's what happened in Touhou 7. Oh my gosh, it's Chen! There she is!
Lentils mine, oh, it's you!
And yes, I am using my catchy voice because obviously Kato.
I mean, have we met before? I'm Chen, welcome to Mayohiga. Lady Ran is currently very busy, so I have a lot of free time. Well, I was slacking off, so some cats ran off towards Muinzuka. I'd go rescue them, but the poison is unbearable. You'll probably need an antidote for each cat.
Oh no. Those poor kitties! They're poisoned.
Help me out here, will you?
Okay, so I guess this is some sort of side quest. I guess we go to Mayohiga and try to rescue all the cats that are there. Does she give me any more information if I go talk to her?
Have you rescued the cats who wandered off to Moonzuka yet? Moonzuka is full of poisonous lilies, so you'll want to bring some antidotes for the cats.
Yeah, specifically the Higanbana, the red spider lilies, are very poison, yet oh so beautiful. At least it isn't filled with moss fungus. Then Dice Dark would have a field day. Okay, again, I don't want to go too far, and we haven't mapped out the Forest of Magic yet in its entirety. We're almost done. We're almost there. And again, I still have no idea what we're doing in terms of the plot. We're just roaming around. I believe we actually have a new area in the monolith, if I remember correctly. Although I don't remember. Yeah, I'll have to look back at some of the previous parts. Or, better idea, I could just go back to our good friend Hieda no Akio, who literally tells us our next location. She's basically the fortune teller of this game. She's the hot, sexy fortune teller. Who is, for some reason, in a relationship with Frozen Breeze, another YouTuber that I follow. I don't know why that became his canon, but it's still funny to me. Oh, damn it. You know what? Narumi is the perfect wall. She has cover. That innately makes her really good. Well, see, I want to take her out because she has cover, but she also has Bullet Golem, and I don't want to deal with Bullet Golem. Without the girlfriend, these two are nothing. This polyamorous relationship cannot work if we take out the middleman. Marissa is the biggest deal. Literally, yeah, Marissa. Marissa is the character who, if you're gonna make a harem game for Touhou, I don't know why, but you know, if you will, she literally has so many options for girlfriends. She has Enoko right here. She has Narumi, Alice, Reimu, because a lot of people do ship those two. Who else? I mean, there's the little ones like Sakuya. Nitori is also a character who partners up with her every now and then. And, oh my gosh, why am I forgetting the big one? Patchouli. Patchouli Knowledge, the one that everyone ships Marissa with. The library bookworm who, in some people's fanfiction / canon, Marissa, the outgoing extrovert, manages to bring Patchouli, the introvert, out of her shell. I remember this one music video. I don't remember the band that made it. I think it was Sekanya? I think that's their name. But they did a remix of Locked Girl, which is Patchouli's theme, mixed with Love Colored Master Spark, which is Marissa's theme. And it was legitimately good. It was a legitimately good remake. Oh, hey, there's Alice. Speaking of potential Marissa ships. Oh, hello. My name is Alice. Are you lost? Forest of Magic is a dangerous place to humans, you know. I suppose you're not alone, though. Are those sleepers with you? Can you control them? Yes, in fact, I have one of you. Could it be you're a puppeteer, like myself? No, but when it eventually gets released, I am going to use the Puppet Master class in 14. And 11, when I eventually get back to 11. I've been getting rusty lately. Can you show me your puppeteering skills? I think this might be a battle, so maybe some other time. Certainly. If you need time to prepare, I will be waiting here. Alright. Looks like we got a little battle on our hands against Alice. We could fight her right now, but we are running at 40 minutes, so I think this will be a good place to stop. So yeah, I can't believe it. 2 parts in, a whole hour, and we still haven't mapped out the Forest of Magic. How much do we have of this place to map out? It's a giant square, so actually not as much as I thought it would be. 3 fairies have got to be in that little spot somewhere. Maybe in the direct center. Maybe they will be in the direct center waiting for me. But either way, Next time, we will be fighting Alice. I have enough items to regain back my HP, and heck, maybe Sumireko doesn't even need the max MP, considering she's not really going to use that much skills. But we will definitely be bringing Tojiko out. And you know what? Screw it. We'll bring Alice into the battle as well, so that we can also use Alice against Alice. Yo, Alice, I heard you like yourself, so I'm using yourself against yourself. Get ready to fuck yourself. Not in the way you're thinking. Tune in tomorrow, everybody, for the next part. See you later.